started. Washington, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. Okay, so a few more people are logging on. This is excellent. Today's a real good day. We are going to be talking about pricing and marketing, and I'm going to be going over something that is a little bit different probably than most marketing that you've probably heard about or read about. So we're just going to give everyone a couple minutes to log on. Hopefully we can get this group up a little bit. Tag your friends if you have any friends in the group, just so that more people have a chance to watch. I'm just going to, yes, Jennifer, day one is actually posted at the top of the group in the featured tab. And it's also on my my YouTube channel. So it's all posted inside the group. Mom Talk Educate, Passion for Posing. That's the Facebook group. Hello. Hi, Angela. Hi, Amber. Hi, Laura. Awesome. Yay. We're getting a few more on here. Okay. Hi, Casey. Okay. I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on the questions, and I am just going to see if I can tag some people. Oh, that's excellent about fancy fabrics. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, polypaper is a really great type of backdrop. Okay, I'm just going to go to the events real quick and see if I can tag attendees. We are live. That's the hard thing about Facebook, is that it doesn't even matter if I'm live. It just doesn't want to show people that I'm on here. So, okay, so we're going to get started. Hopefully more people show up. Do me a favor. Can everyone post an emoji? Let's choose a blue heart emoji. If everybody can do that, then that would really help me out, because it'll kind of show the algorithm that we're hanging out right now. That would be super awesome. Hi, Catherine. Okay, so I'm gonna get started, but if everybody can start popping in some emojis into the chat, that would be super cool. Awesome. Thanks, Destiny. Okay, so I am going to just tell you guys a little bit about me. My name is Catherine. I am the creator of Mom Talk Educate. I've been photographing newborns for 13 years, just about exactly 13 years, actually. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Awesome. So I actually started in my living room, and I was just using natural light with my bay windows in my living room. So honestly, if that's all you have to get started, then you can totally do it. I did it. You can do it. I have, over the 13 years, definitely in the beginning, I took a lot of online courses. I did 2 in-person workshops. One was 10 years ago. The other one was 7 years ago. And ever since, all of my workshops, I've just been really fine-tuning my work and always looking for better ways to do things. And I'm always willing to try new techniques and new posing tools. So I like to kind of share what I have learned from using different things that are on the market. And I'm a very honest person. So, you know, if you want an honest review on something, I'll give it to you if you have a question about something. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Amy. Hi, Daniela. Hi, Tanya. Thank you. I'm getting everybody to throw an emoji in there, because it's going to boost the algorithm and get more people on. So, so I'm just talking about me real quick. I started my YouTube channel around 6 years ago, and I was going to just do videos about traveling, and then I just was like, no, I'm going to pivot and do some newborn photography videos. So I ended up really loving sharing tutorials on YouTube and helping others. And I know that those videos and tutorials have helped a lot of people. And now I actually teach posing courses and everything via momtalkeducate.com. So if you guys are interested in learning more, definitely check out my website, momtalkeducate.com. And if you're ever interested in an in-person workshop, check me out. I have occasional workshops happening at my Edmonton studio and occasionally travel to other places to teach others. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. And also, I'm a mom of four. I've got 4 kids and I've got 4 children. So it's a busy household. I'll move my little camera over here. So, yeah. So we're just going to carry on here. So I wanted to talk about 7 marketing methods for small businesses. So we're just going to briefly touch on this first, because tomorrow we're going to go in depth on websites and SEO. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about websites today. Tomorrow that's going to be handled. So, but first, I just want to mention that, like, when you think about marketing, your website and your SEO is a very, very important part of your business. Like, your website is one of the building blocks of your business, and it's really where serious clients go to find their photographer, they research their photographer, and they hire their chosen photographer, all based on your website. So it's really, really important part of your business. And you want it to have a clear message. And what that's going to do, it's going to help attract your ideal client within seconds of them looking at your website. So I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you clarify that message on your website. And so we're going to go into that in detail. And so maybe grab a notepad and write down some notes that we're going to be chatting about in a couple minutes. So again, tomorrow we're going to discuss SEO and more about websites, and it's going to be with my SEO expert. So he's actually going to be on the call tomorrow. So write down all your SEO questions tonight so that you have them ready for tomorrow. But let's get to it. Oh, look at all that. We have so many more hopped on. Throw out a blue heart emoji if you're just logging on now. It's helping get more people notified that we're on live. Welcome to Mika, Jordan, Brianne, Rocky Ridge Photography, Brooke Christensen, and Yulia, Leslie, Alicia. There's some names I don't know how to pronounce, so I apologize. Okay, so we're gonna get going. So this is something that I've talked about in the past with my mentoring students on occasional lives that I've done. And it's basically based around this book that I read, and I recommend everybody get this book because it's phenomenal. It's really going to help you understand how to market. So it's not just telling you, okay, go market, do this, do that. It's like helping you understand how to market and appeal to your ideal client. Okay, so go grab it if you don't have it. I'm not sponsored by this. I just love it that much that I'm telling you to go buy this book. So it's by Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand, and you need to go get it if you haven't read it. There's audiobooks. I just listen to the audiobooks, and then you can print off the PDFs that he gives you. But I'm going to give you a simplified version of it today. But I highly, highly recommend that you guys go and grab his book because it is amazing. He's like a marketing genius. And so many podcasters that you listen to about marketing all follow his story brand strategies. So this is really, really beneficial and it works. Okay. So basically, you're going to create a story, but your client's going to be the hero of that story. So in order to appeal to your ideal client, you want to position your ideal clients as the hero of your story, where their needs and desires are central to your messaging. So I'm going to break it down a little bit. So think of a movie plot. Okay, so you're going to so the movie has introduced a main character, which is going to be your newborn clients or the new parents. And then you're going to present the challenges. So they might have fear of doing a newborn session. They might be overwhelmed by the choices. They might be worried about safety. Maybe they're worried that they're going to be too tired. Maybe they're, they just don't have enough knowledge about newborn sessions in general. Most people don't have much knowledge. And then they're going to be concerned about that short window of time that basically affects when they can do a newborn session. So those are the challenges around our hero of our story. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to offer solutions to them. So what can we do? And then we're going to conclude with a plan. Okay. And we're also going to include our inner plan, empathy and showing authority. So, and then we're going to finish off with avoiding disappointment if they, you know, if they don't book you, the possible possibilities of disappointment, basically. Okay, so just I'll give everybody a chance to just read that real quick. And if you're just popping on now, all the information that I'm about to give you with this specific part is basically built off of or inspired by Donald Miller's book. Okay, so I'm going to break it down into simple terms. So we want to avoid conclusions. So this is what you're going to do on your website. Okay, this part is the story and how you're going to capture your potential or ideal clients' attention and stand out from the competition. Okay, so your headline on your website first needs to be your city, which is your keywords. And then you need to avoid confusion. So don't get clever with, your fun, like cute words or whatever. Like you need to be very clear on what your services are. Newborn photographer, whatever other type of photography you do, maybe you do family photography, maternity, children, whatever it is, you want to be very clear. Don't worry about clever wording, just be very clear. So for example, your city. So I am Edmonton, newborn and family photographer. I personally am not as much a family photographer, but I am a maternity photographer. So my website says Edmonton, newborn and maternity photographer. And that's how I avoid confusing any potential people that come onto my website. They know automatically, okay, she's a newborn and maternity photographer. Okay, so that needs to just be the very first thing that they see. And then you can have like a little tagline, and the tagline is, this is an example, capturing stunning portraits that last a lifetime. So it's just something that is going to help them remember you. So it's the photographer that is going to capture stunning portraits that last a lifetime. So this is just a little tagline that you're going to have near or underneath, somewhere underneath your heading. Okay. After the heading, you're going to have a paragraph somewhere on your page of your website. It can be in, depending on how you have your website laid out, it can be a paragraph somewhere. Rather than have like an about section right away in your website on your front page, maybe have this instead. Okay. So the body of your paragraph, it's about creating that connection. So are you a newborn parent seeking to celebrate the tender early days of your newborn's life with beautiful photography? So we're creating the hero right here, and that is the new parent. Okay, so we're making sure that the parent is the hero of the story right away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mention what they want. So they want photography. Okay, so are you a new parent seeking to celebrate the tender early days of your newborn's life with beautiful photography? Okay, now we're going to get into the problem that they might face. So we know the challenges that you're facing, from finding a reliable photographer to ensuring your baby's safety and comfort during the session. So now we've introduced the problem that they might face. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the next part of the framework, and we're going to introduce empathy. Okay, so at Raindrop Photography, which is my personal newborn photography web company name, at Raindrop Photography, we know exactly how overwhelming the first few weeks after delivery can be. So now I'm introducing that empathetic feeling so that they can relate to me. I'm relating to them, and all of a sudden they feel a little bit more connected to me. Okay, and now I'm going to introduce authority into that framework. So with 13 years of expertise and specialized training, we handle your newborn with the utmost care. Okay. Oh, I skipped it. Utmost care, capturing beautiful, heartfelt moments that you'll treasure forever. So that's basically like the body of what you're going to write about. You don't want to have like 3 pages of a story. Okay. You want to have it to the point, but you want to have all of these things a part of it. Okay. So if you're writing notes, write this down. So you want to have a hero, which is the parents. Okay, you want them to be the hero of your story. So you're not just talking about what you can do for them. You have a big studio, you have a million props, you have a million wraps, you have a million dresses. Your sessions are blah 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 blah. Like you don't want it to be all about like bragging about the services you offer and focusing on that. Rather, you want them to feel like they're a part of your services already, like instantly. And that's basically the whole point of the story. Okay, is you're bringing them into it and offering them something that they can see themselves getting. Does that make sense? So I hope that that makes sense. But honestly, if it doesn't, I really recommend that you just grab that book. Okay, and I'll just I'll post the name of it again, but I'll share it with you guys at the end. Again, if anybody has any questions, but it's by Donald Miller. So if you just go online and Google Donald Miller, he's got like 3 marketing books and they're just phenomenal. Okay, so now we're going to the plan. So we've showed the empathy, we've showed the authority, we've shown that they're the hero, and now we're going to offer our solution. So our solution is we're going to do a free consultation. So we're going to explain the process of the session. We're going to discuss their vision and address any concerns and questions that they might have. And we're also going to offer them a detailed prep guide to give them tips to ensure that their baby is calm and ready for their photo shoot. That's going to really help them know that you've got all the bases covered. And maybe your competition doesn't do that. Maybe your competition doesn't do a consultation. Maybe you don't do a consultation yet. So you should think about doing this because it might take 20 minutes or 30 minutes out of your life, but it's going to make that person feel so much more confident in hiring you that it's really, really worth it. Okay. So if you're just hopping on here, we're just talking about how to stand out on your website from your competition. And the framework that I'm using is from Donald Miller's Story Brand framework. Okay. So just throw on a happy face emoji if you're watching. Okay, so, and then you're going to mention the next step of the plan, which is to book the deposit or pay with the deposit and secure their booking. So what you can explain to them is you only take a certain number of newborn sessions per month. And because you're doing that, nobody is technically able to book in without that deposit. They're not considered a booking without that deposit or retainer. And that's how you can guarantee that they get their newborn session within the first 14 days after delivery. Honestly, Andrea, I don't do a single newborn session without doing that consultation first. And it only takes, if you do it on Zoom, it only takes 15 to 20 minutes. If you have everything prepped and ready to go, then you don't need to worry about taking a whole lot of time. And I would rather have a consultation with a client, even just on Zoom, so that they can meet me and connect with me and I can meet them and find out exactly what their vision is so that I make sure I can guarantee a happy outcome. You know what? Like, for instance, maybe they were referred to me. They've never looked at my website for very long. You know, sometimes this happens. And they're really thinking about lifestyle pictures. But guess what? I'm a studio photographer and I do mostly posed. So if they are expecting a lifestyle session, they pay their deposit mostly based on a referral because they know that their friend recommended me. And then I do their session or they show up for their session and it's entirely different than what they're expecting. You know, that could be a disaster, right? So I always love to do a consultation for many reasons, but one of those specifically is to make sure we're on the exact same page on what I can deliver for them. And I actually will take them through gallery pictures if they're interested. If they're confused on what exactly is included in a newborn session, the great thing about Zoom is I can quickly flip through galleries of sessions of previous clients and they can see exactly what I offer them. Okay. And then I can promise them a beautiful, relaxing, and stress-free session within those first 14 days. So that is the plan after I have gone through the initial part of it on my website. They get to see all of the steps. There's no confusion. And then after that part, then I'm going to create a sense of urgency and what would happen if they didn't book in. So don't let these precious moments slip away. They are only so tiny for a short few weeks. So you kind of have to bring it back to that and make sure that they understand, okay, if I don't book in now, I might forget. And then once the baby's born, they're only able to get this session done for the first couple weeks. So it kind of gives them that urgency to make sure that they're booking in and guaranteed a spot in that month that they're due. Okay. And then we need to tell them what to do. Reserve your session now and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing your baby is in skilled hands. Okay. So that direct call to action is literally telling them, okay, don't miss out, book your session. Okay. And that way you are not leaving anything to chance or whatever. Okay. And then you can reiterate the success if the action has been taken. So picture yourself with a beautiful collection of photos that celebrate your baby's first days, bringing you joy and cherished memories for years to come. We ensure a secure, stress-free experience that results in gorgeous, timeless images for generations to come. So you can just, I would probably reword that so that they're not both ending with that word. But basically, you're just showing that success if they do take that call to action. And it's kind of like another way of telling them, book your session. Because if you do book your session, you're going to have a beautiful set of images that you're going to be able to cherish for generations, and it's going to be a stress-free experience. You really have nothing to lose. Okay, so it's kind of like, this is just the breakdown of each part of that story brand. Okay, so now we're just going to touch on marketing tips, and I hope that I don't go too long because I've got a lot to cover. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I'm happy to answer them because I want to help you out. Okay. So obviously I just talked about what to include on your website to get that attention and to stand out with that clear message that you want so that you can reach your ideal clients. And it kind of like boosts their interest in booking you. But you also want your website to rank on #1 of Google search with your keywords, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But your website is also important because you need to show off your professional portfolio. So you're showcasing a diverse range of your best newborn photography to immediately captivate visitors. So don't think that you need to have a million pictures on your website portfolio. I even am guilty of this. I need to cut them down. Think about quality over quantity. Okay, don't get consumed with showing every single picture you've ever taken. But one other thing that's really important on your website is the testimonials and reviews that you have from clients. And that is basically to help build trust and credibility. That's really, really important to show that. And you can actually link your Google business to your website so that it automatically imports your Google reviews. And that will also help so that it's not just your written testimonials from your clients, but it's actually like directly imported. So there's plugins for that on websites, and you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so the next part is Google My Business. Okay, so if you haven't set one up for your business specifically, Jordan, I feel like I don't think so. I think the only major reason to have a separate website for newborn photography would be if you were like mainly either a commercial photographer that does like brand like fashion photography or boudoir, or maybe something that's like inappropriate. But because you're mainly like a portrait photographer doing family related photography, I think it's fine to have it all on the same website. But I would make your heading wedding what is it that you do? Wedding, family, and newborn portraits. So in your area with your keywords. Okay, so I wouldn't worry about making a separate website. I think that it's fine. So does anybody have any questions, additional questions? Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so if you have not set this up, it's Google's version of your business, but you need to hook it up. It's not going to just automatically appear. So I'm just going to show you guys, just kind of going off script here for a second. But I'll just show you. So when I type in raindrop photography, which is my business, you're going to see it right here. Right here, raindrop photography. So I've got 47 Google reviews. People are lazy and they don't leave reviews. So you really have to get after people to leave reviews. Okay. But it's got my information. And because of this, I have the potential to show up twice in Google searches. Okay. Not only does this help me show up on Google Maps when they're looking for my studio location, but it's also going to help me show up when somebody searches, let's just say somebody searches Edmonton newborn photographers, I show up number 3 right here. Okay. So this is really important, you guys. If you have not added your business to Google Business, please do this ASAP. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go back to this presentation. And another thing too about Google My Business, it's a weird way to say it, but you need to constantly be updating it, and that will help your ranking. There's not really like a rhyme or reason to how you rank. And I have noticed that the more images I post on my Google Business, the more I show up in the top search, in the top 3. And for years, I wasn't showing up in the top 3. For years in the Google Business, I was showing up at like number 10. So, but as soon as I started updating it regularly, I was showing up at a higher result. Okay, so you want to optimize it with accurate information, photos, and client reviews to improve local search visibility. So really ask your clients to leave reviews. Not everybody is going to remember to do it, but try and remember to ask them, and even maybe give them perks if they will leave a review for you. Okay, next, look at local directories and list your photography business in local directories and niche platforms to increase online presence. There's so many that are available in every city and every area. All you have to do is just search up on Google, like different networking websites or blogs or even like Yelp or like things like that, and you can connect your business. Okay. Third tip is social media educational posts. So the reason why I'm saying this is because you need to stand out from your competition. And I notice that if I just post pictures on my social media and I don't go on stories and show my face, I notice that my algorithm is not as good. And I know that even if I show up on my Instagram stories and I look like a mess and I've just done a newborn session and like my studio is chaotic and I just hop on and I just talk to my audience or my followers and just share something about either the session or share something about, you know, my day-to-day life or my business, I get so much engagement. So really show up, share behind the scenes, do educational posts. You can share tips and tricks for new parents. You can share ways to prepare for newborn sessions, help them choose outfits for themselves if you don't have a client closet. You could even share like, you know, Pinterest ideas on nursery decor, whatever. It's just showing up, and that's basically the point. The more you show up, the more they're going to know you, the better they're going to connect with you, and it's going to humanize your brand. and showcase your expertise in the industry and in that niche specifically. Like, think about the Kardashians, okay? Everyone knows everything about the Kardashians, and when you think about reality TV, you think about the Kardashians because they're literally everywhere. They're everywhere, and they started years ago. And when you watch older seasons, maybe you never watch them, but you can think about really any type of influencer. The more you see them, the more you think about them, and the more you feel like you know them, okay? And you kind of become attached to them a little bit. So if you think about yourself in that same way, if you show up on social media and everything doesn't have to be perfect, I mean, goodness gracious, you guys, I am like a total disaster 24/7 person. Like, personally, I'm not one to like get all fancy and, do my makeup and dress all cute and everything. Like, forget it. I've got 4 kids. I don't have time for that. I basically run 2 businesses with my online business and my, photography business. I don't have time to, get all fancy. People don't care. They want to know who you are and what you're like and the real you. Okay. People are going to feel way more interested in booking you when they feel like they know you. Okay. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to mention is that if anybody engages with you, you need to engage back with them, because that is really, really important. Engagement, real engagement is really, really good. Okay, 4, email marketing. It's been tried, tested, and it is valuable. Okay, if you do not do email marketing and you are slow on your books, what you can do is go into your website and pull up every email or inquiry that you've had in the last 12 months. And maybe some of those didn't book you. Well, maybe they might book you next. So it might take a little bit of time. Import all of those email addresses into like a Google Sheets. And then you can go on MailChimp, or you can just send direct emails to them and reach out to them. Okay. Remind them that you're around, remind them who you are, and that, they at one time were interested in booking a session with you. And then you can also reach out to your previous clients. Also with email marketing, you can learn to, nurture those potential clients into being paid clients. So offer them, special offers. You can offer them referrals, like bonuses for referrals. Basically there's just so many things that you can do. You can do newsletters with updates, tips, client stories, reviews, all sorts of things. Okay. And you can also segment your email list based on interest or past interactions. So that's just something to think about. If you don't know about any type of email marketing platforms, MailChimp is a very common one. So just check that out. And there's lots of tutorials on YouTube. Okay, so of course, I already mentioned it, but referrals is a huge one. I like to tell my students there's 3 main things that bring me clients. Okay. Number 1 is my website. Number 2 is referrals. And number 3 is social media. Okay. My website will always be my number 1. Referrals is a close second. And then social media is free advertising and free marketing. You just have to be consistent at it, and you just have to believe in it. If you don't, it's going to show. Okay. And don't just focus on one platform. Don't just focus on Facebook. Maybe half your clientele is younger and they don't even do Facebook. Maybe they only do Instagram. Or maybe half your clientele, is on, I'm just learning LinkedIn, but I've been hearing that LinkedIn is a great way to advertise. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. So I can't really tell you any feedback on that, but I have been hearing it's been good. So just think about different things, different marketing ways. I don't know that TikTok would be beneficial for newborn photography services, maybe courses, but not services. I don't really know anything about Snapchat either, so I don't know. My kids know Snapchat. So I feel like the generation that's having babies right now is on Instagram, and then the older parents are on Facebook. So just make sure that you're for sure marketing to both. Don't just pick one. How to choose a good brand name. I really think that try and stay away from like catchy words or things, because you may regret it after time. Like, I'll tell you, my business name is Raindrop Photography, but Rain is spelled Rayne. And the reason why I picked that is because it's one of my daughter's middle names. But I thought I was going to be, do a play on words, and I picked drop, like raindrop. I hate it so much. I wish I had just done Rain Studios, or like just kept it simple, or like used my name. And because I thought I would do a play on words, I grew out of it. So try and be practical and think, okay, well, I get sick of this name. And when you're choosing a brand, coming up with your story brand will really help you figure out like what kind of photography you want to be, and how you want to serve your customers, and how you want to attract your customers. And I think that'll really help you come up with a brand name. So I hope that helps you. So as far as referrals, you can offer them incentives for referring new clients to your photography services. You could literally include like a business card inside your your final gallery or whatever. Send them a USB with a gift card in it that says, with every referral, you'll get 10% off, or not, no, don't do 10% off. Do like 2 bonus pictures on your next session or something like that. Okay. Of course, collaborations and networking is always super important. So you need to get creative, and you want to look up maternity stores, baby boutiques, medical clinics, beauticians, therapists, prenatal care experts, pretty much any type of business that is not like a franchise. Okay. Any small business with people that could be remotely connected to your ideal client, that is what the type of business you want to look up. So go on Google, type in your the city that you're trying to rank for, and then type in like small businesses or local businesses, and just go through the list and see which ones would be beneficial to your business and to work together. Next, we're going to have local events. So, be a part of your community. What's another great way to connect with your community is to show up, attend or sponsor events. Like there's baby fairs, there's expos, there's silent auctions, there's community gatherings where you can showcase your work and interact with potential clients. So, go on Facebook, find networking groups, go on Google and search up what kind of expos are showing up, or fairs, or anything that you like, farmers markets, any type of thing where you can show up. That's just going to really, really help your network and your reach in your community. Okay. And I kind of already said that. Engage with local parenting groups and forums, and social media communities are good too. And there's other online communities that are networking communities, and you can pay it like a membership fee. And they do regular networking events where you can show up and your food's included, and you get to meet a whole bunch of different business owners and connect with them and figure out how you can network with them. So definitely there's so many different ways that you can get your name out there. And then lastly, there's advertising, paid advertising. I have personally never run Facebook ads for my Raindrop Photography business, or Google ads for my Raindrop Photography business. I have for Mom Talk Educate, but not for my photography business. I've never had to, because I've put all of my efforts into organic marketing. So I would rather do organic marketing because I am more confident with it. It doesn't cost me money. Yes, it took me time at the beginning, but if you're just, in this business, this is something that you can't afford to not do. So definitely work on your website, which we're going to talk on tomorrow, and SEO, which is search engine optimization, that we're going to discuss tomorrow in detail. But those are the 7 tips that I recommend for marketing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about pricing. I've got 20 minutes to cover this, so hopefully I can get through it in that 20 minutes. Okay, before I jump into that, does anybody have a question about marketing? Feel free to let me know. And if everyone can throw out a emoji, like any type of emoji, it makes It makes me happy and it boosts this into the algorithm. So if you guys can throw out a happy face emoji or a celebration emoji or a heart emoji, please do. Okay. So we are going to talk about 5 ways to price for profit. Woohoo! Thank you, Destiny. Lacey, awesome. Okay, so first, before we get into the details, I want you to ask yourself, because this is really important. Have you sat down and calculated your cost of business? Okay. So before you think about your pricing, I want you to think about this. Are your prices based off of your competition, or are they priced to run a sustainable business? Okay, and feel free to answer these questions in the comments. Have you thought about ways of scaling your business? Has that, been something you've considered? And I want to know, what is your 5-year business plan? And will you be in business or will you be shut down due to poor planning? That's really a serious question, because I have seen so many photographers, successful, amazing photographers, close their doors because they can't afford to be open. And part of the problem is that they were priced too low. Yes, they were successful in the sense that they were really skilled at posing. They had a huge following on social media. They were pretty much amazing at everything they did, but they must not have been marketing to the right clients, and they must not have been charging enough to be sustainable, because your business needs to survive every type of economy. And if you don't have the foundations, you're not going to survive. So I want you to think about those questions. So if you don't make changes now, will you have to get a full-time job to support your business? Okay, this is a question that you need to think about. Are you going to be too burnt out that you hate it and you want to quit? That's something I see all the time. If you don't make changes now, will you get yourself into so much debt that you're forced to sell everything and quit your passion for photography because you can't afford it? Okay. If you don't make changes now, are you going to have to rely on your partner to support your hobby while taking more and more time away from your family? Because you're just not charging enough, that you have to work more. So always think about that when you're thinking about your pricing, because you really need to figure out what's more important. Is working for strangers more important than your family? Okay. So if you could increase your pricing at least 3 times the amount per session, would it help you put money into your savings account? Would it help you take on less work and spend more time with your family? Would it give you more wiggle room to reinvest in your business without going into debt? And maybe would it give you some money to go on vacation? Not everyone gets to go on vacation. I prioritize vacation. I prioritize traveling. I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't priced properly, or I would be priced lower, and I would work myself into the ground and be so burnt out that I would want to quit. So you have to think about all these things, and what is the reason behind your pricing structure? You need to really consider all of that. Andrea wrote, I was so incredibly nervous to start charging my worth, but once I did, it gave me so much confidence in my work and myself. Hoping to gain more experience so I feel more confident in charging more. I'm glad that you're charging more. More time with my family. My husband is a travel nurse and I work full-time with 3 kids in part-time homeschool program. Wow, yeah, you've got a lot going on. So you definitely need to be charging more so that you can have a life, right? And not be burnt out. So now you know why you should learn to price your business properly. So now we're going to get into it, because it's really important to know the reason behind everything. If you don't have a good reason, you're not going to follow through. You're not going to do it. So we're just going to make some lists. So if you guys have your pen and paper, you can obviously do this later, but this is just to give you an idea of the things that you need to write down and track. Okay. So all the boxes that are in green are generally a full write-off, and all the things in yellow are like a part of it is going to be a write-off, and then the parts that are in beige are just personal expenses that you need to cover no matter what, okay? That are nothing to do with your business. Okay, so in these boxes, I have a bunch of different things wrote down. So maybe if you have a pen and paper, write these things down. So you need to calculate how much your gear is per year. This is all by the year, okay, 12 months. Your lighting, if you had to replace it every single year, write that down, okay? Maybe your gear, we're going to talk numbers in a minute, like an average estimate in a minute. But write down gear, lighting, props, studio, like maybe you're a mobile photographer, so that doesn't apply to you, but maybe you do have a studio, so you need to write that down. Your mortgage payment, okay? And by the year, okay? We're not just doing it by the month, we're doing everything by the year. Okay, how much your car payments are every month, okay? And I want you to write this down, because if you don't write this down and maybe you don't have a car payment, this happened to me actually, like recently, is both me and my husband's vehicles were paid off. And I'm not joking, within 6 months, his vehicle needed $12,000 worth of work and my vehicle needed $8,000 worth of work. I'm not joking, within like a few months. So we literally had to fork out $20,000 like in a very short period of time so that we could actually have vehicles to drive. And then I still needed to get a new car. So it was like, I just want you to factor in a car payment just so that you can have that covered. And we'll talk about numbers in a minute, but it doesn't have to be a crazy high car payment, but just something that can help you factor in if you do need a car payment in the future. Okay. Then you need to factor in fuel, your cell phone, your computer. Okay. Computers do not last forever. Yes, some computers might last longer. But just, I want you to factor that in just in case. Okay. Internet, bank fees, accountants. Yes, you need an accountant, because the bigger you grow your business, you're going to wish you had an accountant, because you ever get audited by the government, they're going to want to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. But if you have an accountant, you're less likely to get flagged to get audited. Okay. Bookkeeping. I was so stubborn for years and years. I just did it myself. Well, guess what? No more. I have a bookkeeper. Okay. And I know how much she costs. She's $65 an hour. Okay. My last bookkeeping bill was $2,400. Okay. So I want you to remember that for your business. Granted, I do have 2 businesses that she does bookkeeping for, so my price might be a little bit higher. The taxes, you need to remember that you're going to have taxes at the end of the year. Software, man, you guys, we talked about this yesterday. We have marketing, or not marketing, sorry. We have Photoshop, we have PicTime, we have QuickBooks, we have Zoom, we have our CRM, we have a million things. Okay. So this all needs to be written down. All this stuff is important. Okay. You do need a rainy day fund. So whatever that rainy day fund is, that's up to you. But you should have a rainy day fund. If you guys get sick and you need to cancel and refund a bunch of sessions, are you going to be able to pay your bills? So you need a rainy day fund. Okay. I know in America, you guys have healthcare costs, monthly healthcare costs. I don't exactly know the pricing on that, but I do know that if I was to pay for benefits here, like I don't pay for benefits. So that means like my hospital visits are free in Canada and my doctor's visits are free. That is paid for by my taxes, basically. But if I wanted to have benefits, so like for medication, for the dentist, if my kid needs braces, whatever, I have to pay that out of pocket unless I paid for benefits. So benefits for me could be $300 a month. And that would cover maybe my medication and my kid's dentist or something like that. So, put this number as to whatever applies to you. Okay. Upgrades. Put a number in that if you need to upgrade a lens or upgrade a camera body or upgrade something, that you have a little, savings account for that, because that, you might just need to upgrade your gear. Or maybe, when I have gear over here, maybe you need extra batteries, or maybe you need an extra camera body, So it's better to be safe than sorry. Repairs could be a small amount. Okay. Repairs could be like literally you dropped your camera and the lens broke or something, and your insurance covers most of it, but you have to fork out like what's it called? you know, that initial amount of money that they might make you pay, and then they cover the rest of it. So repairs could really encompass anything, or it could encompass like maybe your lighting broke or something like that, right? So it just is basically like a surprise. Oh, deductible. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, the deductible. So you can apply that to whatever you want. Vacation. Everybody needs a vacation. What you do on your vacation is up to you. My vacation, I like to go to a hot place with a beach and an ocean. So my vacation is going to be something different and cost something different than yours. Okay, insurance. Now, for insurance, I put down vehicle insurance, business insurance, and life insurance. Okay, I put that, it's gonna go into this number. Okay, utilities, I put down, even though my studio is separate and that's a complete write-off and the utilities are included in that, my home has utilities and I am able to write off a portion of my home utilities because I have an office at home and I work partially from home. So I am able to count that as well. Food, obviously everybody needs food. Oh, I'll answer you in a second. Everyone needs food, and this is just something you have to pay for out of your personal money, no matter where you work. So don't worry too much about that. And licenses, you know, you're going to need your business license every year. So this is a yearly, everything on here is going to be a yearly expense. And then miscellaneous, whatever you want, you know, include clothing, you know, shopping for clothes, any kind of shopping, any type of miscellaneous expense. Okay. So now you're going to see basically numbers that I punched in, just like hypothetical numbers. Okay. So like, for my mortgage, I put in $1,500 a month. So that works out to being $18,000 for the year. Okay. This down here is for food. That's $1,000 a month. I have 4 kids. That is being like shy. We average anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 a month for groceries for a family of 6. So, you know, your numbers are going to be different than mine depending on where you live. And, but it's important to write all these numbers down. Okay. Let's just see. I'm just going to go back here for a second. For instance, gear and lighting and props and studio. I put $3,000 a year for gear, $500 a year for lighting, you know, $2,000 a year for props. That's like $200, less than $200 a month type thing. And then $12,000 for my studio, because my studio cost me $1,000 a month. Okay. So that's where these numbers are coming from. It's like some of them are just made up numbers and then some of them are real numbers. Okay. 7,200 and 7,200. That's car and fuel. Okay. So I average, I would say $600 a month in a car payment and then $600 a month in gas. Okay. So that's where that 7,200 comes from. Okay. We'll just go back again. Phone and computer. $2,000 if I needed to, you know, like buy another computer or something. $960 for my phone. I think that I averaged like, I don't know, $80 a month or something. I can't remember what I wrote down. Bookkeeping, $2,400. I actually used my actual bookkeeper's bill, and then my accountant was only $600. So, because she's taking the information from the bookkeeper and she's submitting it, so her bill is not as high. Okay. I know I'm going really fast, but this is just hypothetical numbers mostly, and you're going to need to come up with your own numbers and whatever applies to you, but go do it by the year so that you can use this to help you price what you need to charge. Okay. Oh, I put down vacation at 5,000, and my insurance is higher because not only am I including my business insurance, I'm including my home and vehicle and life insurance, I think. So that is why these numbers are where they are at. And then utilities, that is averaged at $600 a month for utilities. So your cost might be lower or higher depending on where you live and what type of living you have. Okay. And this is based off of me paying for everything. This is not factoring into my partner paying for half. Okay. This is me paying for everything, just in case you're wondering. Okay. So I've got it listed as green is 100% write-off. The yellow is a partial write-off, and then the personal, there's no write-off to the personal. Okay, so this is how I have come up with these numbers. So I have basically $25,000 of this number is a complete write-off. Okay. So I'm just gonna show that to you guys. So after I take away that initial 25,000, and then I'm just pretending that my partial write-offs are 10,000, that's gonna bring the number down to $60,000 from that 95,000. Okay. And then I need to calculate 30% of that 60,000 in taxes. Okay, so in Canada, we pay about an average of 30% in taxes, depending on what category of income you fall into. So don't be stressed out though, because if you think about it, you're running a business, so you actually get to write off things that if you were working for an employer, you wouldn't be able to write off. So it might look scary and it might look like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is worth it. It is worth it because you're getting to write off a percentage. It might be higher. I don't know what the percentage is going to be. It's going to be dependent on where you live and what type of expenses and whatnot they are. But you're going to get a partial write-off of a huge portion of your income, whereas you would not be able to do that if you were working for another business. Okay. So hypothetically, let's just say that you needed to make $96,000 a year to cover 100% of your living and your taxes and your business expenses. It's going to work out that you're actually going to get more money back than what it looks like. Oh, somebody just messaged me about a newborn session. I was like, is this somebody on the live telling me my phone is frozen? But it's not. It was an inquiry. Anyways, so let's just break that down for a second. So if I needed to make $96,000 a year, then all I'd have to do is do 4 sessions at $2,000 in sales per month. So that would be $8,000 a month in sales. Okay. Or it could be 5,000 or 5 sessions at $1,600 a month. Okay, let me reword that. 5 sessions at $1,600 in sales per month. Okay, to make that $8,000 a month. Or 6 sessions at $1,333 in sales per month. Okay, so it's actually not as scary as it seems. 6 sessions, that's not scary. You can do 6 sessions, or you could do 5 sessions at 1,600, and I'm just going to show you how to get there. Okay, so let's just pretend that you want to do an average of $1,600 in sales per session. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can do that. First, you're going to avoid these 2 things. These are really important to avoid. You're going to avoid online sneak peeks. Okay, if you're doing that, quit. I don't want you to do that anymore. And you're also going to avoid sending online proof galleries. No more. If you just cut those 2 things out, you're already going to increase how much money you can make per client. Okay. So first we're going to charge a session fee. So out of that $1,600, we're going to charge a session fee. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to get to that session fee. You're going to split your overhead and divide it by the sessions that you've decided to do. So let's just say that you want to average that $1,600 or maybe the $1,300 one. So you want to do 6 sessions a month at $1,300. I'm going to show you how to price your collections. So if we do 6 sessions a month for 12 months, that's 72 sessions. Okay, that's 6 sessions a month. So I took that business overhead, which was 25,000 for me, and I split it by 72 sessions, which is 6 sessions a month. That works out to being $348 for a session fee. So I'm rounding that up to $350. So now my session fee is $350, and that doesn't include pictures. That just covers my time. Okay, so I know now that my minimum is going to be, I need to make a minimum of $985 per session plus the session fee. Okay. So now I'm going to help you create your collections. So you're going to take your sales number and divide it by the lowest collection of images. So as an example, let's just say that you want your smallest collection of images to be 15 images. You're going to take $985 and divide it by 15, and that's going to give you $65. Okay, I'm upping or rounding off the numbers, by the way. So it's around $65 an image. So I'm going to keep it at $65 an image for 15 images, and that's going to give me $985 collection. Okay. Then you're going to reduce that price a little bit and multiply it by a larger number of images. So, and the reason why is because the more they buy, like the more images they buy, the less they cost the client. Okay. So if I lowered the price to $60 an image and give them a collection of 20 images, it's going to be $1,200. Okay. So I'm already making more than my minimum rate that I need, right? It's $1,200 plus $350 session fee. So now I'm over 1,500, I'm 1,550. Okay. And then if I want to do it again, oh, I meant to change that. That's supposed to be $55. Whoops. Why did I do that? Here we go. Pretend this is 55. $55 times 30 images is going to equal $1,650 plus the 350. Okay. So now I'm making bank if they buy my top collection. Even if they buy my middle collection, I'm making good money. Okay. So now I have my collections and I'm going to price the top, most expensive one at the top, work the prices down. Okay. So my top one is $1,650 for 30 images. Then it goes down to $1,200 for 20 images. And then goes down to $985 for 15 images. Okay. And if they only want to buy a handful of images, it's $85 an image. So basically 14 images and less is $85 an image. So if they only want to buy 10, they can buy 10 at $85 an image. So for 10 images, they would spend $850. Okay. So the reason behind that is you're giving them the control. Suddenly, rather than having them lock into a price, a predetermined price, before they've even done their session and before they've even seen their pictures, you're giving them the option to come in and literally buy one picture. And let me tell you, that has never happened to me. Okay. But what you're doing is you're giving them the control and you are going to do the ordering appointments personally. Okay. You're going to give them the opportunity to go through the images with you. You can do that on Zoom and you can do that in person. I do both. I actually do the majority of my ordering appointments on Zoom. Okay. I just use Bridge and I flip through the images with them on Bridge. And I don't have any fancy software. I literally show them a slideshow off of PicTime. And then I show them one image at a time from their proofing gallery and I do it on Zoom. Super simple. And let me tell you, they have a hard time narrowing it down to anything less than 25 pictures. Okay, now this is not my pricing. I actually charge $80 an image. And most of my clients buy albums, and so they spend $300 on the session fee and $2,200 or $2,300 on the album. Okay, and that's the average client sale for me. Okay, and ever since I started just charging a session fee and giving them the a la carte option of $80 an image, it's just been so simple for me. It's such an easy way to do it. And that's how you are going to stand out from your competition. You need to be different. You need to be different from your competitors. And you need to offer more than just a shoot and burn type situation. You don't want to just offer a basic service. You can't offer a basic service and charge a luxury price. It's just not going to work. So if you're not ready to commit to your business, and I don't mean you need to work like a dog. That's not what I'm saying. Because the more you charge, the less you have to work. Okay, so just remember that. So how can you offer more than your competition? Well, you can do a pre-session consultation. You can do a personal ordering appointment. And if you want to, you can offer products. You don't have to. You can do all of this just digital. You do not have to, go crazy. You don't have to include products if you don't want to. I do recommend that you do because it is going to set you apart, but you don't have to. Okay, so I'm just going to go through real quick before I give you guys the link to the freebie, just because I want to see what you guys have wrote. Catherine Barretto, when did you somewhat get sleep? I feel like maybe I'm doing work-life balance wrong. Yes. Because I charge more and because I average more, I don't have to work as hard as maybe somebody who only charges $500 a session or $600 a session. I don't have to do more than 4 or 5 sessions a month. And I actually give a lot of promotional sessions away as well on top of that. And I don't have to stress because I'm making what I need to make every month, and I'm working as much as I want to, and I have a life again. I can be a mom, I can show up for my kids. I don't have to stress about it anymore. Okay, and I've really simplified my pricing. I just $80 a picture, and they don't have to buy anything or predetermine what they're going to buy until they see their pictures. Oh, sounds like the hockey team scored. My husband cheered in the background. It's the Stanley Cup Finals right now. Okay. He's cheering in the back. Okay, so basically I feel your pain though, because I used to be like that. I used to be up editing until, 3 in the morning. I was ready to like scream. I was just exhausted. Okay, Andrea said, I can relate so much. Almost all my editing is done at night while my kids are sleeping. Oh, and another thing too is I don't edit any pictures unless they buy them. And I know that that's hard. Maybe you have pictures that you love. I will only edit a picture if I absolutely want to use it in marketing and I know that they can save it off of social media and I'm okay with that. That's when I'll do that. But otherwise I only edit pictures that they buy. I don't even actually pre-edit a sneak peek anymore. I quit doing that. I got too lazy. So why no proof gallery? So I only do a proof gallery if I don't think, like if I'm not concerned about making a large sale. A proof gallery is a sale killer, let me tell you, okay? You're giving them too much time to cut down their pictures. You're not letting them get emotionally attached to their pictures. And it's just less of an experience. When you're going through their pictures with them, you can literally hold their hand. You help them narrow down their pictures. You get a full understanding of what they want to do with their pictures. You are basically becoming that person, that guide, and helping them discover, exactly what they want and love about their pictures. Okay. How many outfits and props do you use for a session? Honestly, okay, so my standard newborn session is 4 fabric poses, 4 or 5 fabric poses, 4 or 5 props, and then full parent posing and sibling posing. So if they don't have any siblings, let me just get this. If they don't have any siblings, I do individual parents, so mom and baby, dad and baby, them together as a family unit, and I'll do 2 different variations of each. So 2 of mom, 2 of dad, and then if there's siblings, I'll add in siblings and baby, and then family portraits as a family unit with or without siblings. Okay, so they're getting a massive gallery. My proof galleries, I know that I do provide larger proof galleries, but when I'm going through them with my clients, usually they're no less than 65 pictures, but usually I try to keep it at 100. Less is better in my opinion, but I just love every picture too much, and I try not to have any duplicate type of poses, but I want unique expressions, and I want unique setups, and I want unique angles, and I want unique poses. So I'm not just showing them 100 pictures of the same thing. I am showing them at least 3 different angles of every pose that I do. So they're getting a gallery of unique pictures. Okay. Yes, if you're interested in mentoring, I have all the details for mentoring at momtalklessons.com. So I would love to have you. I have a payment plan if you're interested. Lacey, I just can't see ever being able to charge that high in my little town. Okay, so Lacey, where do you live? How far is the biggest city to you? Because that's really what matters. Because let me tell you, I live in a small town. I live in a town that's 2,500 people. The population is 2,500 people. But I market to the city of 1 million. That's half an hour from my studio. Okay, and then I have cities that are all around the large city, and those cities range from a population of 10,000 up to 50,000. So I market to everyone, but mainly to the big city. Alicia, I seem to turn off customers when they hear they pay per picture package and just don't pay one session price and they get all the photos. That's not your ideal client, Alicia, so it's going to take time to build up your basically to show up in your community. You need to work on that and market and network because and it's also your website and your SEO. Okay, so think about those things. Where you're showing up, how people can find you, and you want to work on attracting your ideal client, all of those different avenues. Do you ever edit to give them an idea of what to expect so they can see your vision? I'm so concerned so many clients may not see what I see before the finished product. Honestly, usually I would say that I would recommend, okay, what did you ask me? Oh, for sneak peeks. If the baby had really bad skin, then I could definitely see that, or if mom had really bad skin. But with with the correct lighting and with the correct posing, your images, your straight out of camera images should be so close to perfect that they don't really need a lot of editing. Editing is really just the finishing touches. So what I recommend is doing that preset. The preset is going to just polish it up a little bit. And that's what I do is I apply the presets and that's what they see. So if the baby had really bad acne, then I 100% would do a sneak peek, not a sneak peek online, but a fully retouched image in their proofing gallery to show them the difference. Okay. Okay, so can you guys just tell me how big the population is? I'll only keep you for another 2 minutes, okay? Because I know we have another boot camp day tomorrow. So just let me know what is the biggest city closest to you? Okay, Jordan, I don't know American cities, so you're gonna have to spell it out for me because I don't know how big these places are. Can you guys tell me like what is the largest city close to where you can market to? Or closest to you, I should say. Basically, any large city within an hour distance is what you should be marketing to. Okay, because people will drive hours. I mean, ideally, you don't want them to drive more than an hour, but most of my clients drive 45 minutes to my studio. So I wouldn't worry too much about if they're an hour away from you. I would definitely, you know, market to them. So before I share the marketing document, I just would love to see, okay, 100,000 population. So yeah, I would be marketing the snot out of that. And if you're worried about charging per photo or that high, stop. Because it's all about doing it personally. And you're never going to know unless you try. And another thing too is that let's just say that you want to transition into higher pricing. I heard a really great recommendation on a podcast that basically said, do it at Black Friday. Do it during Black Friday because then you can promote the heck out of it, offer a massive discount so that you're still actually giving yourself a raise. But it seems like because your prices have increased, they don't realize how much your prices have increased. They don't realize that they're still actually paying more than your old prices, but you can actually advertise your new prices with a discount. But because it's Black Friday, you don't have to worry about scaring people away. Okay, I don't know how big those places are, but honestly, if they have a population of like anything bigger than the small area you live in, then you need to market to them. And don't think only about basically any city that's within an hour distance to you is what you want to market to. and you want to pick the biggest location, the biggest population, and market to them first. So your keywords are going to be the biggest population if they're within an hour's distance of you. And then you're going to worry about marketing to the other cities in order from biggest to smallest. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to give you the link. Yes, you're going to need to share with me your email address. Again, it doesn't matter if you've already signed up for the freebie yesterday. It's just going to give it to you anyways. So don't worry about that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for showing up. I just posted the freebie inside the comment section. I appreciate your guys' time, and I just want to remind you that tomorrow we're going to be all about websites and SEO, and it's going to be with my SEO expert, and I'm very excited to hop on tomorrow and share all of the juicy details with you guys. Okay, thanks for hanging out today. Have a great day, guys. Bye.